so this is Spiral Mountain. We basically just have to learn the moves from bottles, but if you tell him you're already good enough at the game, he'll just teach you the moves right away. So essentially we're just running straight to the end of Spiral here. Main objective of this game is to go into the 9 worlds, collect a whole bunch of Jiggies and a whole bunch of notes. So Jiggies will open up the levels, and notes will basically let you progress through Grunsky's land. So we're going to skip a few Jiggies, but normally you'd need 94 out of 100 Jiggies to beat the game, and you'd need 810 out of 900 notes to beat the game. So traditionally, this game's usually run almost at 100% completion, so 100% is a pretty common category for people to run. Miss bottle skip. No big, it's like 2 seconds. But any percent is gaining a little bit more popularity because we got some glitches to skip some things. Now, I'll start by saying that the 810 note door, we can't skip that at all, so we'll get all the notes that we'd normally need in the game, but we're going to skip a few Jiggies. Now, whenever we get a Jiggy in this game, Banjo does a little dance, and he goes "Gah" at the end. I'll give you his first one. Gah. So I'd love to hear everyone's best Gahs whenever I grab a Jiggy, and I'm really sorry, but that's the last Jiggy in the run. So yeah, we open Mumbo's Mountain here, but pretty much every other level we're going to have some glitch to get into. There's 900 notes in the game, there's 100 notes in each level, so we will have to go into every level, but there's like funky ways to get into all of them, which we'll see as they come up. Alright, so we got Mumbo's Mountain, and you might notice that I'm in Talentro. I really apologise about the jumping noise, you'll hear that for the next hour. You kind of tune it out when you run Banjo, but a lot of people find it really annoying when they watch runs. Jumping is slightly faster, it just puts you up to top speed right away, and when you jump you do this slide, and you slow down at the end of the slide, so you just got to keep jumping. But any percent is just grab a bunch of notes really quickly. And the other thing we're going to need quite a few of is Mumbo tokens here. You need 45 throughout the whole run, and you need those 45 by about the halfway point. So we're grabbing pretty much every Mumbo token we can, even ones that are like 7 or 8 seconds out of the way. But it's a pretty fun category to route. The route keeps changing as we find new glitches and stuff, so there's still work to be done on it. But it's a really fun one if you want to put like an Excel together with like notes per second, if you're into that kind of thing. Oh yeah, we timed it before. Because what, it's an hour run, 810 notes. So yeah, every 4.5 seconds expect a note to be collected. You can tell me off if I don't do that quite. But we don't need them. There's actually sort of 2 competing routes for this category. One where you do Clanker's Cabin as Banjo, and then another one where you do Bubble Gloop Swamp as Banjo. Basically the goal for the run is to get to the last level, Click Clock Wood, as quickly as we possibly can. That has a transformation which is the B, and there's a way to get the B out. So expect about 2/3 of the game done as Banjo and the other 1/3 done as the B. We'd really like to do more as the B, but you can't get to Click Clock Wood that early. There's a few like roadblocks along the way. Can you turn my game down a bit, please? So yeah, it's Mumbo's Mountain done. We got all 100 notes there. You get an extra life for doing that, so it's worth getting 100 if you can. But because we only need 810, there's 90 notes throughout the whole run we can skip. And usually it's the really slow notes that we're going to be skipping. First note door, there'll be many more to come. I guess you get a Gah here. Kind of. Alright, so coming up is TTC early. It's our first glitch to skip just 2 Jiggies. It would take us about 30 seconds, 20 seconds to get all the Jiggies and open up Treasure Trove Cove. So if I can get this in under 20 seconds, we save time. It has been killing pretty much all my PB attempts lately. Luckily, it's like 5 minutes into the run. Whoa, alright, I'll take it. No. So you have to hit like a really specific height there. Otherwise, you just go back and land, and that's also really not good. This trick's pretty rough. Yeah, it's pretty. Wow. Okay. Now, if you go too low there, you can like save it with a ground pound, like I did just then, and then it's not over because you have to do the spooky navigation. You can't go too high or too low there. Too low, you fall out. Too high, you do what I just did. It's a pretty rough trick, but we'll get it. I've definitely saved the 30 seconds, right? Yeah. That's what it looks like if you do it normally. Whoa. Right. So yeah, they start doing that in 100%, and in 100% you already have the GE, so it literally just saves like the 7 seconds you'd spend opening TTC. But they like to save time in this run. It's gotten pretty optimized over the years, and yeah, TTC early is one of the later things they've started doing. So you might also notice that I have pretty much all the moves in the run as well. Somebody was calling me a cheater for doing that before.
It's not cheating. It's clearly part of the strategy.
Absolutely.
I just feel that it should be counted as part of the run. And this is a big debate. Probably not something to right now. I feel very strongly about it.
Yeah, it's gone back and forth over the years. There's a glitch called FFM. Basically, it gets you all the moves. The problem is the way that it works is you use a file that already has all the moves. So I have a file on this cartridge that's pretty much at the end of the game. It's got all the moves, and you can transfer those onto a new file. It's almost like a New Game Plus sort of thing. But yeah, we pretty much use it as a standard in Banjo speedruns, or at least we have for many years. They've started actually opening up both options, so FFM and no FFM categories for like each category. So 100% no FFM is popping off at the moment. Pretty sure Wonderful just got a new world record in it. Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that actually. That's why we allowed it, yeah. Because the intro cutscene, if you've already played a game on the cartridge, you can skip the intro cutscene. And everyone was just skipping the intro cutscene. Tricky beat bump, hold on. There we go. Oh, yeah. Cool. It's actually really hard to hit the lighthouse there, because you often like over or undershoot it or have the wrong height, but there we go. Yeah, because the game was already sort of New Game Plus because you were skipping the intro cutscene, so they're like, why not have a whole other file with all the moves? But a lot of categories actually don't learn all the moves through FFM, so like you might notice I have like no eggs and no feathers or anything, so I have to collect those throughout the run because I'm not going to learn them from bottles. Normally if you learn them from bottles, he'll give you like a big top up for all the amounts you could possibly need, but we're going to have to go and collect a whole bunch.
You have time for a donation?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we have $4 from Nevlin. What is Kazooie's favorite cheese? Brie!
Nice.
We have $50 from Tasty Power Move. Banjo says trans rights. Money goes toward Animal Well, please. We'll make sure that happens. We have tons of several donation incentives over the course of this marathon. If you want to put money toward it, just mention it in the comments of your donation on Tiltify.
So I had a glitch coming up called a Nipper Skip. Believe it or not, it skips Nipper. Basically, he doesn't have a hitbox for a little while right at the start of the fight, so you just jump in and get all 3 hits right away. I lost a run the other day to a Nipper Skip, so I got an extra health here just to be careful. So we had a few ways of doing this over the years, but the current method is to go into his little armpit, which doesn't have any collisions for some reason. And yeah, I've been grinding down for a PB the last few months. I finally got a 1 hour and 13 second run the other day. I finally hit my goal time of sub 1 hour and 14 seconds.
I believe you missed a note. 99 out of 100.
Yeah, there's a lonely note in TTC that hasn't been the route for many years. It's sort of right in this weird alcove thing that's like way out of the way.
And you've left it all by itself.
I know.
Cruel.
But yeah, extra lives actually are a bit of an issue, so sometimes we do like to get 100 even if it might be slower normally. I'm also going to swap controllers in a sec. Here we go. You'll also notice my movement get really bad because this is like a GameCube style stick. It almost acts like a D-pad. It's very hard to hit at any angle, so I apologize about the movement through this room. We're going to do a trick called a bit clip. It's a very precise trick. You have to get into a floating point perfect position, so setup's a bit intense. Might go quiet for a second during this. Alright, so I'm going to get into Talon Trot. And I'm going to count 10 trot sounds, right? It goes a little bit too early, so I've got this wild setup where I like hold my thumb really high off the controller and then smash down start. It puts me a frame later. It works really well. Yes, it worked. Good. Alright, now I got this big cheat sheet there, so I'll use this. Alright, so we're going to go left. I'm going to go right. And that's the wrong frame, so we're going to go back. These are called twirly whirlies. I think it's a fitting name, because you twirl. I've got to hit a specific pause frame, which is a little bit hard on a monitor that I'm not used to, but we'll get it. There we go. So now I've got to do, alright, let's see, a full bear punch and 2 punch cancels. Here we go, alright. 1, 2, alright. And left. Now we're looking for a different pause frame. That's the one. And I've got to do 1 punch cancel. Nope. Yes. And then we've got to go left. Yep. I just hand wrote these notes, so I'm not used to how it's actually written. 2 honeycomb left green, yep. And then we got to do another punch cancel. There we go. And then we got to go left again. So... Hey, I got it. Yeah, cool. And then 1 and 2... We call this the hopping simulator. I don't think I got it. Something must have gone wrong. This can happen. It's fine. So if that happens, we try again. So the reason it's got a wild setup is there's like teeny tiny little holes in the ground that you'd like Banjo to fall through. Like really, really tiny. When we look at a pixel on the screen, it may be like 1/1000th of a pixel big. Like that's how big these holes are. So it's pretty... How do I get this extra life? I haven't got it in a while. What? There we go. There we go. So basically what we're doing with this setup is we're doing really precise movements to get Banjo in the exact position we want. And you can't just like walk there because that's inconsistent. You have to like beat barge and turn your camera in wacky ways.
So it's all about getting the exact right angle when you're doing the twirly-whirly, and all about getting precise movements when you're doing the punch cancels and the beak barges.
Mm-hmm. And there's so many things that can go wrong. That's the same frame. That's setup A. So we will see if we can get it again. Left, right. Nope. Yep. Yep. Okay, left wall. There we go. I think we decided you were going to read out my setup.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. Yeah.
This is the time. So the setup written down. less than, greater than, not 4HCR not PXX, not greater than 4HCL wall, and it goes on. I'm bored of reading it already.
Wow. Music to my ears, thank you.
The fact that you're able to turn that into exploiting the sub-pixel alignment is insane.
Yeah, well, it really is essentially, those who like computers, it's a floating point rounding error. But yeah, basically it's just the game not quite properly rounding numbers. So when your maths teacher told you to round numbers properly, this is why. Because they didn't want you to make a game and have bubble glue barely be possible.
Here we have another abandoned jiggy.
Yeah. I'm going to jump straight over it. So yeah, those big clips are probably like the newest things in the run. Previously, we had to go into Clanker's Cabin instead of Bubble Gloop Swamp, and we're going to big clip into Mad Monster Mansion and Click Clock Wood as well. I was supposed to get an extra health. Oh, we'll wing it. What can go wrong? But yeah, so before the run was like 26 jiggies, and the big clips essentially brought it down to 1. These hut jumps are a little bit treacherous. You're supposed to like break them and then shock spring up, but you can jump off. It's just a little bit spooky. And this is a bit that I needed extra health for, so I really hope that I don't die. The actual movement is fine, but it's just if this buddy gets in your way, like he's trying to, it can be very bad.
Do we have time for a few more donations?
Yeah, go for it.
We have $50 from Spilly. I remember playing Banjo-Kazooie when it first came out and have such fond memories. I still have a crush on sexy Gruntilda to this day. Hey, don't we all? We have $4 from Epictetus. I am a free-thinking individual. My mind is my own. I will not repeat the sound bites that each character says. I will not. You know what I have to say to that? Gah! We have $20 from TSR Stormed. Greetings from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's currently 3 a.m. here, but I am so ready to stay up and see you tackle this crazy speed run. Best of luck.
TSR, one of the top banjo runners at the moment. And TSR's just ran this at GDQ, so if it looks familiar, that's probably why. So normally in this game you want to walk out to the exit of the level, at least that's the intention. Turns out just to be a lot quicker to die. Puts you right back to the level entrance and everything, but almost more importantly puts you on full health for the next level. Away, go. We got backup notes if I missed those, so it's fine. But.
So just keeping a track, that's 15 notes you've abandoned in that level.
Abandoned, sounds so harsh. The notes are like inside Mr. Vile's head, so if you want to get those notes, you have to be the crocodile. That's why we skipped those ones. Well, there's 6 notes inside Vile, and then there's 4 notes under the mud huts, and those are the... Yeah, they are up to 15. Those are the 15 we skipped.
And I guess if you feel bad for those notes that have been abandoned, keep in mind this is the 64 version, so you can't actually take notes out the level, they all go back.
Yeah, actually I should mention TSR is like revolutionizing the Xbox category at the moment, and Xbox honestly is really cool. So this runs about an hour long, world record's like 58:30. But the Xbox version has come down to like I think it's like a 35-minute run or something now. And then you can do like note cloning and start the run from Rusty Bucket Bay. It's absolutely wild. So I'd check out an Xbox run if you're interested. Alright, we're going to do FP early. This is a bit of a funny trick because it relies on a move called Big Bomb, which you get in Frazizi Peak, but we're going to use it to get into Frazizi Peak. And the reason we have the move is because of that FFM glitch that we used before. So that moves glitch isn't just to save time in the levels, it helps you skip the 8 jiggies that you would need to open Frazizi Peak. It can be a bit brutal, so hopefully we get it. This has also been killing a lot of PBs. Good. Now normally I'd Big Bomb in, but I'm actually not going to risk it in a marathon, so I might just go in behind the door there.
Still getting that first go.
It's very funny how this run's developed. Like, unfortunately with how many big clips there are, I'm not sure if this is why, but I've noticed the community get a little bit smaller lately, because the run is just getting like harder and harder. And even in like 100%, like with the big clips, you have to do them if you want to like save time and do the optimal 100% route. So it can be pretty rough. But actually, I think it's been a nice shake-up for the community because it's made new runners get a little bit of an edge over the older runners because they're like able to learn the big clips and save a bit of time, whereas like me, who's been around for too long, had to relearn big clips properly. There's also like a lot of feather management, so I want to get up to the snowman's hat, and if you just fly up there, you're probably spending like 20 feathers or something. We're going to do it in 10. So you're going to zoom the camera in. And like, yeah, you Big Bomb up there, but if you don't use that exact camera setup, even a Big Bomb would take you like 15 feathers to get up there or something. And it's wild, like back in the day when we ran this category, it's like, oh, we'll just wing it and use however many feathers. But now it's really come down and it's a lot more optimal, like our feather routing and everything. Believe it or not, I don't need like any more feathers in the run except for the few for the grunty fight. So technically I only need 4, but I might get a few more.
Skipping those ones because it's optimal to avoid them.
Yeah, they're so out of the way. The other thing you'll notice a lot in like level routing is going top to bottom. Like I'm just running down slopes. Banjo does move a bit faster going downhill, so if we can help it, we'd really like to Big Bomb up the snowman and then run down, rather than run up the snowman and fall down. Just little things like that help to save time. And like this FP route has been the same for many years now, but a lot of level routes are still changing. That's what I like about any percent, it's still a little bit newer than 100%, so there's improvements you can make to the route. Alright, we got water notes coming up. These are a little bit tense. Hopefully I can get it without needing extra health. And that guy can just totally snipe you as well and ruin your whole thing. Oh, there we go. Alright, I messed it up. Now the old setup. Whoa. Oh, wait. Okay. Now I'm going to do the old setup. Yeah, you can get health in the snowballs. I get 2. I'll show you the new setup. It's kind of a wild strat. There you go. You can actually grab that note with Banjo's feet. For some reason, they have a really big hitbox. I actually learned that playing a Banjo ROM hack. I did like speedruns of it. Nostalgia 64. I'd recommend it. It's good fun. Okay, we're actually going to get all 100, and I'm going to beat Barge. Oh, hold on. No, I'm not. Because I got the extra health, I was all messed up. I'm going to beat Barge down to this pole. There we go. Now it seems really slow because all I did was die, but it lands you on Mumbo, and now we've skipped all of his text when we need to actually go and talk to him. So it just saves like 3 or 4 seconds in Mad Monster Mansion. Mittens found that setup. It was an absolute game changer. We used to just like jump onto the flame, and it was so inconsistent whether you'd hit Mumbo's text. You got another bit clip coming up, so it should be loads of fun. HJL. I can't even read my own handwriting. So before we do MMM early, there's this wacky sort of glitch area we need to go to. Really, I just need the gate broken. So in theory, I can break the gate and then run back to the start. But it's a little bit quicker to do this weird out of bounds thing. So we're going to get up here. Up here. Also, we were talking about this in the practice room before. There's just like a full-on roof up in this section. Like, I don't know why, but there is. Anyway, you can get up onto this pole. And it's a really annoying jump. But yeah, that's just slightly faster than walking back to the start of the room. Alright. Now, Bubble Gloop Early had 3 frames I can hit, so it's a frame perfect pause, but there's like 3 different setups depending on the frame. This one, there's only 2 setups, so hopefully I get one. Yes, it's a fast one. Excellent. You have to wait for the camera to like settle down. It's very bizarre. Good. Big barges are consistent, so we do one of those. Anytime that I'm like waiting, I sort of have to wait for like the camera to settle down before we do anything.
So which of the 3 cheating your way into levels is the trickiest?
Wow. Bubble Gloop Early. It's the worst. Bubble Gloop Early. I'm really glad TSR found the setup for it. But unfortunately, the setup, like the frame that you have to pause, the camera does a weird like flip thing right before it. So there's like literally no visual cue you can use. And then there is an audio cue. It's like 10 talon trot noises. But if you hit start right on the 10th talon trot, you get it a frame early. So there's not really an audio cue either.
Hence your very scientific finger this far above the start button.
Yeah, exactly. I was using a metronome at one point, full on 315 BPM if anyone wants to try it home. But yeah, no, metronome strats were good. But the problem is you have to time the start of the metronome and the end, so you've sort of got 2 rooms for error there. But yeah, Mad Monster Mansion Early has been around for the longest. Yeah, I found like the original setup for it, but it was so slow. Ringraj went through and found like a whole bunch of like much faster setups. I'm going to have some pretty particular health routing in this level, so I'm going to take a damage here. But we'd really like to be on no health by the end. I'm going to have an extra health just for marathon safety, but the optimal route through this level has you do like a whole bunch of it on 1 health, and it's super spooky. There's also like a really weird effect where if you like hold a direction as you're coming out of a loading zone, Banjo just goes like completely the wrong way. The camera's like pointed a different way when you start each room. So what you got to do is like not hold the stick at all until the room fades in and then hold the stick. It's a really weird system. Anyway, I'm just grabbing notes for a while, so if you've got any donations, go for it.
Well, so far we haven't had anything new come in, but we are ready and waiting for your donations. We have lots of donation incentives that you can donate for. Finding Nemo, finishing character, bid war of what character you want to use for the finish run. That's been a good one. We also have a couple that I don't think have gotten any entries yet. I'm looking forward to the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess run. We've had the name of Link and the name of Epona, nothing now. So now's your chance to go for glory if you want to.
Beehive jump off the beehive. It's actually really like precise to do it. Like you gotta wait till it's at the top of its little cycle thing to actually get enough height. The other thing I should mention is like the whole reason we're doing Mad Monster Mansion now is to get the pumpkin transformation. So there's a lot of talk about 810 node door skip in this category. That would be the biggest time save. It would probably cut the run in half, purely just because you wouldn't need to be collecting all these nodes. The other thing that is really big that would save time is water level skip. So I need to become the pumpkin, which is really slow to do. But the whole purpose is the pumpkin raises the water in one of the rooms in Grunty's lair, because you need the pumpkin to get in and do that. So it's 20 Mumbo tokens. It also means that you need to go into Mad Monster Mansion earlier on in the run. So it means that we can't get the bee as early as we'd like to. So if we had some way to skip using the pumpkin here, that would also shave about 15 or 20 minutes off the run. And there's no like TAS, like no official TAS of any percent for this game. But I've made like a low TAD of it, so it's about 20 minutes to get through in a low TAD. I think it's actually more like 15. But even the TAS can't do ward level skip. There's just no way to get like height consistently in Banjo. Go on.
So I'd just like to point out that you deliberately missed that jiggy.
Yeah, just to bother you.
Yeah. Should have fallen straight on up. Sorry. Continue. You're talking about water level skip.
Actually, you reminded me. You can crash the game sometimes if you get jiggies in any percent. Basically, there's this wild glitch, jiggy despawn glitch, and if you die with the jiggy in your hand as Banjo, which we used to do in the route, then the next jiggy you grab will try and like despawn whatever that object was. So you can full on like despawn objects in levels by like grabbing a jiggy with a pumpkin. But if there's no object that it's trying to despawn, it just crashes the game. So yeah. I think it's like muscle memory to avoid jiggies for that reason, because you run the risk of crashing it whenever. What was I talking about? Water level skips?
Water level skip, yeah.
Oh yeah, water level skip's not possible in TAS. The 810 note door skip is... so the big clips that I've been doing are like big clips where you fall through ground. Like the one that I did through the stair there. I just pointed at the screen. The one that you did through the stair there, like there's ground underneath, so you just fall in and walk into the level. But the TAS can do big clips where it like gets under the ground and then like flutters underneath the ground so that it can walk past a wall. So yeah, basically RTA, we can bit clip through floors, that's fine. But the TAS can essentially bit clip through walls by going from underneath. And that opens up a whole bunch of time saves, including 810 node door skip. There's actually two ways to skip the 810 note door in TAS. I spent like several months grinding for this like really complex skip. And then like a month later big clips were found. It was just for free. But it's good to have two ways. But yeah, if anyone can figure out 810 note door skip, that would be like the holy grail of glitches for this game. Save heaps of time in the run. And then the second one would be water level. So that's what I was doing with this pumpkin. Like that door hole is only big enough for the pumpkin to get through. So like you need to be the pumpkin in this run, even though it's super slow. That's partially why Xbox is a lot faster for any percent, because Xbox starts in Rusty Bucket Bay. It's like a demo desync glitch that it uses. So Xbox already like skips all the water level stuff. And yeah, everyone always asks like, can you just clip into that room that the pumpkin goes into? Unfortunately, the loading zone is specifically coded so that only the pumpkin can go through it, even if you like clip in as Banjo. I got another note door coming up. I promise I won't cut off people's gutters this time. Nice.
Always bother me that the water doesn't flow back out through that door.
It's one of Grunty's spells, surely. But yeah, this is water level 1, we call it. So normally you couldn't get up here if you hadn't done the pumpkin thing.
Ah! I'm just going to high jump. This is water level 2. Just on this switch there. So if we could reach this switch, you literally would just get water level skip. There's this really weird glitch called hyper buoyancy. I found it like years and years ago. Basically, if you get to this point in the game and you don't know the swimming move from Spiral Mountain, like swim underwater, Banjo can get like hooked under the roof and the buoyancy force just like compounds. So eventually Banjo just like shoots up really fast because the buoyancy force is pushing him up that hard. Unfortunately, you can't use it to skip the water level, but it's probably the closest thing we have to a water level skip. The problem is when Banjo hits the water surface, his movement stops, so you can't use it to like break free of the water. This is water level 3, and the only reason I raise it this high is to skip this node door. So there we go. Basically with ledges in this game, if you're moving at fast enough downward speed, you'll clip through them. Similar to how we got into Frizzy Peak, only we were flying when we did that one. And I'm going to take a safety strat here. I'm going to kill this guy. We're about to do a glitch called Click Clock Wood Early. It's another bit clip. Now, with the other bit clips we've been doing, we've just done it from like the entry to the level lobby. Unfortunately, with this... I hate this jump. With this lobby entry here, that tunnel that I went through is super laggy, and lag frames will ruin your setup for big clips. So instead, what we need to do is go up to this puzzle spawner here. After this cutscene, I'm going to be in a really consistent position. The game just puts you at a preset position. So now we can do the big clip setup, and it's like consistent positioning that we're in. And if that text box happened any later, I would have got a lag frame, ruin the whole thing. So I'm glad that happened there. Alright, so we talent drop, we hold right. I'm waiting for a specific visual cue, and there's 3 frames, so hopefully I get it. Yes, wonderful. And this one's a bit funky because you got a beak barge. And there we go. Oh. Yes. Swirly whirlies are so much fun. Ah, good. I'm struggling to read my own handwriting here. Yep. Yes. Wonderful. So the reason I did so many punch cancels there, oh, I better get the glitch first. There we go. It's the only N64 run I know with like 6 controller swaps. Anyway, the reason I took so long to do the punch cancels is like what I was doing was pressing like B and then A really quickly, so Banjo just does a little punch and then hops straight out of it. It's like frame perfect, so you got to hit B and then A the next frame. If you wait 2 frames, you ruin the whole trick. If you don't get it, Banjo just jumps in place. But the setup's something like, oh yeah, you got to do 3 punch cancels, and you need to know that you've done exactly 3. So whenever you're doing those like big clip setup, what I'm doing is I'm looking really closely at like all the geometry, and you can kind of see like the pixels move around a little bit if you get the punch cancel right. It's really subtle to see. So a big part of the big clip setups is like being able to see those pixels change and know whether or not you got punch cancels. And often you can lose runs if you like do it too quickly and you're like, oh, hold on, was that a punch cancel? I couldn't tell. Yeah. So I'm hoping we get better setups one day, but these ones are the best we have so far.
I didn't want to ask at the time, but given that you used the switch as your starting point, what would have happened if you messed it up?
Oh, conveniently, if you mess it up, you just die, and then Banjo respawns on the switch.
Ah,
Yeah.
that is fortunate.
It would be so bad if you... Yeah. The Click Clock Wood Early, like, you can't just fire up your cartridge that you had as a kid and do it, because you probably have that switch pressed already. So it's sort of a one-time only glitch on your save file. All the others you can try at home. Now, believe it or not, we're going to be grabbing a bunch of notes. But all the notes are pretty much in autumn. So we got to go through spring and summer fairly normally. And then we're just going to try and get to autumn to get all the notes. I'm going to skip winter. It is my favorite actual season, but it's pretty slow in the speedrun. And I don't know if anyone else had this, but this game literally taught me the seasons when I was a kid. 'Cause I played this when I was like 3. There's a few like changes every season. So for example, the leaves get bigger and also the birds get bigger. So when I jump around the birds in a sec here, it's going to be a lot harder than it was in spring because the birds are way bigger. And then if you try and do it in autumn, like you can jump around them, but it's basically slower for how out of the way you have to go. It's very not good if they hit you there, as I'm sure you can imagine. The other thing I should probably mention is that like a lot of the things in this level, they take 2 damage away from you. It's just the way the enemies are coded. And we only have 5 health. It's not worth it at all to go out of your way to get extra health in any percent. Even if you could get extra health, it would be even slower because we actually want low health to do like death warps and stuff. But it can make this level really scary because you're often on like 3 health or 1 health. And so like basically 3 hits from one of these birds and I'm completely gone because they take 2 damage a hit.
Adding into the fact that they often knock you off when you take full damage as well.
Yeah. Also, these just don't hit you if you jump on them from the back. So, like, they've got, like, literally half their thing is covered with a hitbox. It's really bizarre. So probably another big time save for this route would be to like get into autumn somehow without opening it. There's not a super realistic way to do that unless we use the bee somehow maybe. It is possible in Taz. Ring Rush has a few really good like low A, not low A press, like low move Taz's and stuff. Worth checking out. That cow guy has done like a Banjo-Kazooie A button challenge, which is really interesting. The Jiggy D spawn glitch that I talked about before is used all over that.
Time for a donation?
Yeah, go for it.
We've got $10 from 115 Sparkles. That controller looks weird. Where's the Xbox? Best of luck. Thanks for helping make any percent interesting. Enjoy the bit clips, ASM.
Thanks, Spark. Yeah, I split my time about half-half between N64 and Xbox traditionally, but like, they've now found bit clips on Xbox, and the problem is, those Xbox 360 controllers don't have notches, so I don't know how anyone actually manages to do bit clips, but it sort of put me off Xbox running. Luckily, Pure Any Percent on Xbox, I'm pretty sure doesn't have any bit clips in the current route. That's still fine. Also, that guy can just knock you off and kill your whole run. It's pretty brutal. Also, Nabnut there has like a crazy wide text trigger, so you have to jump around like his whole house to avoid him talking to you. I also love that he's like looking for his lost nuts and acorns, and like some of them are just like literally in his house.
What's your theory for what's happened to the big egg, given that we didn't hatch it?
Omelette.
And then the avoiding full damage using the ground pound.
Oh yeah.
A fun little, I don't know, is it glitch or is it intended?
I think it's a glitch. Yeah, haven't you been using that heaps lately?
I have been playing through Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie with my son. And yeah, it's been something that's helped me get around. So for those that didn't notice, when you do the ground pound, there's like the little reset jump afterwards, and you cannot take full damage from that. So if you ground pound near an edge, fall as much as you like, and you won't take any damage. Definitely useful for this level.
Yeah, the cheat websites used to just say ground pound off the edge, which is definitely not what you do. You'll take damage if you do that. But yeah, no, you take no damage on the recoil. I have this old cheat book with like codes printed out from like the late 90s internet, and it's so good. It's like how to make Captain Falcon fart in Super Smash Brothers. Some pretty top-notch cheats. Unlock Goku. You just got to score 10 million points on Very Hard with 1 life 200 times, and you'll get Goku. Anyway, we're going to do a glitch called RBA. It stands for pressing RB and A when you do it. Actually stands for Reverse B Adventure. Yep. I think there's like 4 different methods to get the B out of this area without detransforming. That's the fastest one there. Some methods are PAL only, some methods are NTSC only. For the longest time, this run was PAL only. Well, the optimal route was PAL only. So the Australian copy was like the fastest version of Banjo for many years. The American copy's the fastest now, so that's what I'm playing on. Also, one of the very original glitch hunters for this game, Chronikis, was really into Zelda, so a lot of the Banjo tricks are named after Ocarina of Time tricks, like RBA, like Reverse Bubble Adventure, Reverse B Adventure, and then like Door of Grunty Skip is like Door of Time Skip. Anyway, so basically we got 3 levels left to do, and we're the B, which is a lot faster to go around collecting notes as. So that's the crux of any percent. Get the B as quick as we can, get a whole bunch of notes. B physics are absolutely whack. You cannot get out of flying without touching the ground, so if I accidentally fly at any point, I lose like 5 seconds while I slowly navigate the B back down. It's fastest to hold R and B while you're flying, so I have like a really wild controller grip on there. Basically so that I've got my thumb free to press A for whenever I need to gain height. And pretty much everything's on setup, so no matter what part of the level I'm doing, I'm like, yep, that flies 5 taps, that flies 3 taps, or it's like 4 slow taps or 5 quick taps or whatever.
And there's even the dropping off the platform before you start flying so you don't go too high.
Oh yeah. So many strats where like you're just trying to lose height, because like with Banjo we can't get enough height, with B we have too much height. There's no nice middle ground except maybe the pumpkin. Also, the other sort of scary thing with the B is B will take 2 damage from a lot of things, even those like buzz bombs. For some reason they do 2 damage to the B, but not Banjo. I don't know why. Any of the chompers in this room are all 2 damage. And we've only got 5 health, and no way at all to get extra health as a B. And because we're playing on the N64 version, if we die in a level, we lose all our notes, so we have to get them again. So it's a bit spooky health-wise, but we'll make it through. Ah, damn. A lot of those notes you'd really like to get flying, because landing is just slow, because you have to get up and fly again. So with Banjo, any movement stuff, like there's a big skill ceiling with Banjo movement, but anything you do is just going to save like 0.3, 0.4 seconds when you do it. With the B, you're literally saving 4 or 5 seconds, whether you screw off a strat or not. So it's where a lot of the time differences happen in the run. B used to be my specialty. I used to have the record at 80%. Now I'm a little bit washed up. But yeah, I really like B movement. It's one of the reasons why I like this category so much. Probably one of the reasons why other people don't like this category so much.
We've got $20 from Perfect Footy. I always enjoy watching the bear move fast, and 8-bit always moves the bear very fast. Sadly, Ari will never become a mighty eagle in any percent.
Thanks, Woody. Also, I don't know why, in the Xbox version they added like a fringe to the bee. He's got like a cool new haircut. Literally the only model they changed. And they didn't expect you to be the bee in the lair, so a lot of the rooms here just do not have roofs. Just fly straight over. The reason we want to do that is just to get under the water there. If the bee touches the water, it just sort of like bounces back up. So we'll see that a lot. Just sort of like what it's doing now. Anyhow, well, Banjo had a lot of trouble getting into the levels, but the bee can pretty much get into all the levels. There's like a tiny little hole in the top of the level there, so just go straight in. Much easier than those bit clips.
I mean, do you want to call that technically a bit clip and make it the easiest one?
I guess so.
I mean, it is technically still a gap between the triangles that you're lining up and going down. Nice.
Don't mind me going quiet though, that strat's really hard. Yeah, if you land there, you just ruin the whole thing as well. But yeah, nah, full on. There's like almost every triangle in this game, well, maybe about 1 in every 3 floor triangles in this game, do have those gaps, just due to the way the numbers work and like the rounding. But there are also some triangles which the devs just did not line up properly. So near the 765 note door, there's literally a hole that you can like see in the ground because they didn't line it up properly. And Banjo can just full on like fall through that. Dumbest strat in the run, you like fly for these 2 notes. I think it saves like 0.2 seconds or something. Nice. You can get full on like 5 of those notes in flying. It's so cool when it happens. But it's also not cool if you get 4 because you missed the first one and then have to walk back for it. Also, when RVA was discovered, it was a way to get some of the stop and swap items without using the cheat codes. So this door, for example, we can actually clip into and get the blue stop and swap egg.
We're not doing that today, though?
Nah.
Yeah.
It's any percent. And this room here, I'm doing a really weird fly at the start. Whole purpose of that is to get the camera sort of messed up. The camera gets like hooked weirdly if you don't go out the door right. So that's why I'm off camera at the moment. Whole reason for that is to create like a lag frame here. So now, the bee normally cannot clip out of that bit of roof there, but with the camera all messed up, you get lag frames and then the bee clips. It's such a cool strat.
So We had 22 abandoned notes in that level.
Wow.
But I guess that's the whole point of the run is 810, so you must abandon 90 notes.
Oh, I didn't get my extra spare notes. Whoops. I'm pretty sure I got 810. We'll find out. Now, I counted all 16 notes for your Jumpin' Jackson run, so I hope you've been counting all 810 for me.
I've been counting the other way. I've been counting the ones you abandoned.
Ah, okay. Now, this whole level's on a cycle. It's like a 10-second cycle. Clanker's bolt goes like out and in. And yeah, you have to wait for it to be up before you can go into it. Best time you can get into the bolt is at 3:05. I usually get a 3:15. I've had 3:05 once or twice, but it's pretty inconsistent. This fly here is pretty nuts. You've got to like get all these notes in flying. It's the coolest strat, but like it's so easy to miss a note here, and then you just like ruin all the flankers. You're also not supposed to land on his tail. And when I first found, I don't think this is the exact Clankers route that I found originally, but I was up till like 3 AM one night, just like deliriously routing Clankers, and called the route Planker's Tavern, so that name has sort of stuck.
So I guess noticing that we're underwater, but it's still behaving as if we're above water, just because we've gone around the edge of the water surface.
That's how water works. You have to go through the surface to be underwater. Works like that in real life too.
Unfortunately, you're technically correct.
Am I? Oh no. Sorry. Is that why the water doesn't flood out of the 450 node door?
Because it's above the surface?
Yeah, because you're not cutting the surface. That's how it works, right? It's a really important note with routing. For a really long time, it was sort of just assumed that B Clanker's Cavern would be really slow because of all the water. But it's not until you actually go in and test a route. That's what I encourage you to do if you're routing your speed game. Test all the weird stuff, because sometimes, you know, doing the water levels of B, you think it would be heaps slow, but it's actually super fast. Unfortunately, the reason we can't do both level 3 and level 4, like Bubble Gloop and Clankers, is the B, is just because we need like 260 notes to get up the layer. There are skips past most node doors, but not that one. So you basically have to pick, well, you have to do Mumbo's Mountain as Banjo, and then you have to pick one of the 3 next levels to do as Banjo, and so we pick Bubble Gloop Swamp's the fastest. Sorry, 2 of the 3 levels to do as Banjo. So we pick Clankers to do as the B anyway. Uh-oh. You can get like an extra life in the pipe here as well. There we go. The bee's nose has an unusually big hitbox, so it just sort of like flies into things and grabs all the... Oh, I make the sign. Yeah, bee can grab stuff with its nose, essentially. If you're like moving fast into a wall and there's like an object behind it, you'll grab the object through the wall. And that's what the bee does, pretty much.
Well, this is an easy jiggy to get.
I purposely jumped over it just to bother you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I've done the wrong thing here. Oh no. There's a really easy setup to get this thing, but if you miss it, it's really annoying. Yeah. So we're in Clanker's mouth here. Like, it's got all of his teeth. This level is like so gross for a kid's game. I don't know why they put it in here. Also, it's probably the last good bit of downtime, so if there's any donations, now would be a good time.
Now will be a good time to get your donations in. Plenty of incentives and plenty of opportunities. We have some fantastic prizes too. Gigabyte is our major sponsor for ASM 2025. For those in Australia who donate at least $50, you'll go into the running for one of two 32-inch Gigabyte MO32U monitors. These are our two grand prizes you can win during the event. For more details, go to prizes.ausspeedruns.com.
You were nearly there for the jiggy. You nearly had it.
Got to avoid the jiggies. I don't want another Actually, we're about to do a few note doors, so we'll get them. So you think it'd be faster to like trigger all the cauldrons and walk back up the lair, but the bee's just so fast at movement that you just like fly straight back up to Grunty. So we're in the end game here. I should have 810 notes, as long as I haven't missed any. I hope you've been counting.
I actually missed how many we had in clankers, so
98.
there we go.
Yeah, the two we skip are the two in like the alcoves up the top. They're just so slow. And the thing is, even if those notes are quick, you lose a 10-second cycle by getting them, so they're not worth it. Yes, 810, that's good. So it's sort of like a... If this run wasn't already brutal enough with all like the big clips and level early glitches, we got this huge gauntlet of glitches and hard tricks coming up. So it's Furnace Fun, which is like the big quiz. There is a 20% chance that your run just completely dies. Well, by completely dies, I mean you like lose a minute, which is usually enough to lose your PB. I've had that happen on like too many PB pace runs lately to count. Then there's dog skip, and then there's a grunty fight. So it's an absolutely brutal endgame. But luckily you only lose like between 30 seconds and a minute usually, so unless you're going for like record, it's usually not a huge deal. There are 5 bears. One of the bears is Banjo, fun fact. This run used to have like a lot of grunty questions. So they're random every game file you play. And we used to have like this calculator where we work out all the answers. Luckily, we don't do any grunty questions anymore, unless we get like a random one. And that's thanks to something called an impulse skip, which I'll be doing in a sec. So the death squares, they throw you off, those like skull squares. To throw you off, they like take down all the invisible walls surrounding the board. But if you're in Talon Trot, it doesn't throw you off properly. So there's this tiny little pixel there that you can get into Talon Trot like that, and then you can answer the death square question in Talon Trot, which you're not supposed to be able to do. There we go. Now I've got to get this wrong. Is headed full enough? That's definitely wrong. Okay, good. It's kind of like a weird mind game you have to play with yourself, like intentionally pick the wrong answer. Anyway, because you're in Talon Trot, it doesn't throw you off the board, right? You can literally just run to the end. Because to throw you off the board, it takes down all the invisible walls blocking it. Now we got dog skip, probably one of the hardest tricks in the run, but I have a real soft spot for it. I really like dog skip. It's a frame perfect trick, hoping I get it pretty quickly. World record loses like 30 seconds to dog skip, and it's the main time lost in the run. So it hurts everyone. I've lost several PBs to it, but hopefully we can get it. Yay. Yeah, so what's going on there is you're like clipping underneath the floor, and then the jump is frame perfect, but you have to sort of like use the Kazooie sounds to figure out when to do the jump. Shortly after like 6 Kazooie sounds. But of course, like the clip can be inconsistent. So sometimes it'll take like 7 sounds or 5 sounds, so that's what makes it kind of difficult.
And just there actually using that ground pound to be invulnerable to Grunty's spell.
Thank you, I forget that I do that. There's so much stuff in this run that's just like, oh yeah. You just don't think about it anymore. Oh, that was 4? I can't count to that. Oh, I think I messed up the flight section. Whoopsies. Yeah, you're supposed to big bomb Grunty there, but obviously I can't count to 4, so that's not going to happen. So she'll shoot 1 fireball, then 2, then 3. It's actually better when she shoots more fireballs, because like she's stiller for longer, like that, and you just got time to line up the big bomb. So the hardest big bomb is like the second one. We're going to go for something called a Jinjo. What's it called? Jinjo cutscene statue glitch, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to try and poop eggs into the Jinjo statue like as it's coming up. So it's going to come up on this bit here. There you go. Now this can softlock the game if you do it wrong, so hopefully that hasn't happened. Well, sort of. You have to redo the fight. But yeah, there's a chance that the next statue just full-on doesn't work. Okay, that's good. And also, Grunty's fireballs are like homing, so if you just run in circles, it like projects a tangent straight line to wherever you're going. So, oh, sick! I got the strat. Yeah, if you get it quick enough, she doesn't land on the pillar there. The Taz gets her like all the way across. I don't think I've ever got that run before. That's nice. That's never happened before. See if we get Rocket Banjo. If you hit the ground pound on the frame this cutscene starts, you get Rocket Banjo. He like flies up in the air. It takes his ground pound upwards velocity and like doesn't cancel it off. Time will come when I do the last shot here. And coming up in a sec. Time.
That was a good ground fight.
Oh yeah, I'll take that. Good. I included FFM setup in the estimate, so that's not too bad. But yeah, I'd recommend checking out the Banjo community if you're interested. Lots of very cool categories, very cool runners, great tutorials, very welcoming. And thanks for having me. Thanks for Couch and Seagull.
Thanks for having me. She should be perfectly safe behind that wall, though. I think
Easy.
he failed. She can't get knocked back.
I forget what it looks like when you get knocked back like that.
She's safe. Oh,
Oh, she did a glitch. I like how her shadow's still there. Oh yeah, fun fact, that spell was supposed to turn you into a frog, and then it was going to be like a weird New Game Plus thing. Ah, dev time. Cool. Alright, I reckon that'll be it for us.
Alrighty, great job, 8-Bit Beast. Always love that game. So stick around, we've got lots more for you. We're getting cozy, we're all in our pajamas enjoying things. We've got Crash Twinsanity that we're setting up for you right now. We'd like to thank Urban Climb for sponsoring ASM 2025. They have generously contributed 7 prize vouchers for entry into any urban climb across Australia, as well as included gear hire. Further information can be found at prizes.ausspeedruns.com. In addition to donating, the Twitch revenue we receive throughout the event will also be given to Games on Cancer, which includes bits and subscriptions to the AusSpeedruns channel, as another way to support Game on Cancer. Yeah, I just threw my Prime subscription to the AusSpeedruns channel. I'd forgotten to do that at the beginning of the event, so if you do have Amazon Prime, you can kick that to us, and that will go toward our donation goals. We have $10 from J-Bongs. There are truly gods among us. Thank you for your service, speedrunners. Snowboard Kids donation incentive. Linda.
Ravioli. Mamma mia.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching AusSpeedruns Marathon 2025, benefiting Game on Cancer. I'm Dactyly, I'll be your host for the next couple runs here. We've got Crash to Insanity 100% coming right up. Just before I pass over to Joe, there's just a couple of donations that came in during the break there that I'll just quickly read. So we had $14.20 from Ariana Fan 420, praying for good snowboard kids RNG. Donation incentive to Tommy for the character choice. We had $55 from Dark Mesh, put that towards the Final Fantasy X blindfolded menu. And also just now $5 from Sly Sonic. Yo, Joe, good luck on the best Crash game. Thanks for all the help teaching me this madness game. You're going to crush it. Hope to see you again soon, bud. Thank you, everyone, for your donations. And without further ado, I'll pass it on to Joe.